Well, hello there. Let's just go ahead and dive right into this. Take a deep breath and settle in with me for a minute. Today, we're looking at something deeply important to our heritage, our families, and our shared future, right here in Louisiana. We are breaking down the 2026 U.S. House elections. Now, this explainer isn't just about reading some names off a ballot. It's about our collective strength. It's about the families, the neighbors, and the community leaders working hand in hand every single day. This is about our power and our vote. I really want you to just sit with this question for a moment. Are you ready to make your voice heard, Louisiana? Because, this is our home. The decisions made all the way up in Washington, they ripple directly back down into our neighborhoods. They affect our local businesses, our schools, our elder care. When we stand together, when we move as one collective heartbeat, there's literally nothing we cannot achieve. Our voice is our legacy.
So the date we all absolutely need to anchor in our minds is November 3, 2026. That is our general election day. Now, I know it might feel like we have plenty of time until then, but preparing our neighborhoods, educating our communities, and getting everybody ready, that takes real intention. The time to build that foundation, to empower one another, is right now.
Now, you might already know that Louisiana does things in a beautifully unique way, with what folks often call a jungle primary, our majority vote system. Basically, this means every single candidate, regardless of their political party, appears together on the very same ballot. To win outright on November 3rd, a candidate has to secure a true majority, meaning 50% plus one single vote. So here is the absolutely crucial point. If no one reaches that threshold, the top two vote-getters are going to advance to a runoff election on December 12th. Your vote literally determines if a race ends in November or if we need to rally our community all over again in December.
All right, Section 1, the ballot, Districts 1 through 3.
Starting us off in the 1st District, the incumbent is Steve Scalise. On the Republican side of the ballot, Steve Scalise is joined by challenger Randall Arrington. And stepping up on the Democratic side is Lauren Jewett. All of these names are going to be right there together for 1st District voters to consider. Moving right along down to the 2nd District, the incumbent currently holding the seat is Troy Carter. As we look at the field here, there actually aren't any Republican candidates currently listed. On the Democratic side, incumbent Troy Carter is joined by challenger Renata Collins. Next up is the 3rd District. The incumbent here is Clay Higgins, who is also the sole Republican candidate listed. Looking across the aisle to the Democratic candidates, we see a field of 3 challengers stepping forward: John Day, Tia LeBrun, and Caleb Walker. Okay, moving on to Section 2, the ballot, Districts 4 through 6.
In the 4th District, the incumbent is Mike Johnson. The Republican field includes Mike Johnson, along with challengers Joshua Murat and Mike Nichols. Over on the Democratic side, voters will see Conrad Kappel and Matthew Gromlich on their ballots.
Now, this next one brilliantly illustrates just how active our civic process can be. The 5th District features a deeply crowded field. The incumbent is Julia Letlow. The Republican ticket includes quite a few folks: Misty Cordell, Michael Eccles, Rick Edmonds, Austin McGee, Michael Mabrewer, Blake Miguez, and Samuel Wyatt. And running as Democratic candidates, we have Jesse Carlton Fleenor, Larry Foy, Lindsey Garcia, Dan McKay, and Tanya Nyman. So it's a really wide array of choices for the folks living in the 5th.
Finally, let's take a look at the 6th District. The incumbent here is Cleo Fields. On the Republican side, there are 4 challengers: Monica Painting, Larry Davis, Christian Johnson, and Peter Williams. And Cleo Fields is listed as the Democratic candidate. Now, before we move on to the next part, I want to gently remind everyone about transparency here. The names we just reviewed, that's the current overview. But please note that candidate lists for the 2026 election might not be entirely complete just yet. The political landscape shifts over time. But you know what? Our focus on being informed, that never wavers.
All right, Section 3, the toolkit. Mark your calendars.
Here is the steady heartbeat of our election season. Grab a pen if you need to. October 5th is your absolute deadline for in-person and mail-in voter registration. If you prefer the digital route, you have until October 13th to register online through GoVote. Then comes our real time of action. October 20th through the 27th is our early voting period. And finally, the culmination of all our community's hard effort, Election Day, November 3rd. Every single one of these dates is a vital stepping stone to our empowerment.
Let's break down exactly how you can register, because we are making sure nobody gets left behind. You have 4 incredibly clear paths. You can register in person by October 5th. You can do it by mail, as long as it's postmarked by October 5th. You can handle it at an Office of Motor Vehicles by October 5th, or, like we mentioned, you can use the Go Vote system online up until October 13th. Reach out to your elders, check on your cousins, talk to those young folks who are just turning 18, make absolutely sure they have the tools to take the step.
Now, we all know life happens, right? Work schedules shift, the kids need looking after, things come up. If you cannot make it on November 3rd, early voting is a powerful and super accessible alternative built for our busy lives. The polls will be open for early voting from October 20 to October 27, starting at 8:30 in the morning until 6 in the evening. Just keep in mind they are closed on Sunday, October 25. Carpool with a neighbor, maybe take your lunch break together. Let's just make a solid plan to show up early.
And that brings us to Section 4. See you at the polls. Election Day action.
Here is your final Election Day action plan. Tuesday, November 3, 2026. The polls are going to be open bright and early at 6 a.m. and will stay open until 8 p.m. Don't wait until the last minute, and certainly don't let any uncertainty stop you. Go to the Louisiana Secretary of State's voter portal right now to check your status and find your exact polling location. When we are prepared, we are powerful. We've walked through the districts together, we've marked our calendars, and we've gathered our tools. The rest is up to you, and it is up to us as a community. So I want to leave you with this one deeply important question. Will you step up and make your voice heard on November 3rd? Louisiana, our power is our vote. Let's make sure we use it. See you at the polls.